Good day. This is Holo Trading and Projects. Just do a bit of a analysis on USDCAD. Right. Let me just. Okay. So what do we basically see here? We see that the market has been in a range-bound movement, but within the range-bound movement, there's been a buy side and a sell side. Then what do I mean about buy side and sell side? The market has fairly traded between supply and demand, and both buyers and sellers are equal in the market, right? So what I'm doing now, I'm just plotting a few order blocks that I see that caused initial impulses, you know. Okay, so in this area, right, we initially broke structure over here. We initially broke structure over there. We initially broke structure over there, and the market was bullish, right? The market was bullish, right? It was bullish till price collapsed, started trading lower. We failed to make new highs. We failed to make new highs over here, right? We had a high. That is our initial high, right? Then price broke lower, violating this low. This low was violated, forming our change of character, right? Forming our change of character. Forming our change of character. Now this is our new low. Our new low. Right. Lower high. Hence price failed to the break to the upside. Lower high. We have a beautiful order block entry over there, right? Now, interesting thing that when price moved just that retracement to collect some orders to sell, it just left a bit of liquidity, just left a bit of liquidity. These relatively equal lows. Those relative equal lows. Mind you, in this area here, we left a bit of a fair value gap and imbalance at the same time, right? We're still bearish, though. Still bearish. From high to low to lower high to lower low. Lower low. and we had to pull back to this area. We had to pull back to that area. We'll go down on a 4-hour just to refine it, but I just want us to be mindful of how price was moving. High, ultimately coming to a lower low. And one thing now is that we are in a very sensitive area. A very, very sensitive area. This is a very sensitive area because we have an order block over here. Let me just change this. In this circle, this doji candle, we would consider it as an order block, and also these last down candles, 1 2 3 4, these ones are an order block, right? That's why I said OB here. We had a fair reaction this side, first side. We had a fair reaction the first time. On that area we had a fair reaction. Now we are on the second leg of the reaction, right? What can we expect from this move? What can we expect from the market, right? Initially I see that price still has left a bit of a void over here. There's still a void. Still a liquidity void that needs to be filled. And properly we have a solid order block, right? So my projection is when price dropped like this, right, it left the void, right? When price dropped, it left the void, right? It left the void, right? Now within that void we have fair value gap, right? We have a fair value gap within this area on a daily. On a daily, right? So let's drop down to a 4-hour chart to get a clear picture of where are we going. Where are we going? Mind you, this is for that liquidity void that I was talking about. Let me just delete this because we know what we were talking about, right? Alright, so we can see that price had a bit of a reaction here. Then we're still yet to see what's gonna happen, but I have a, let me just, just refine it. Okay, I see that within that fair value gap that we saw, right, price here fine came, filled it. The voids here are still here. Price has not yet filled it properly. Price was traded unfairly, so I would love to see something happen where this area gets violated to the upside, right? If we were to be a bit bullish to the upside, I would like price to take out these buy stops. I want price to take out these buy stops, right? I would like to see price do something like this, retest the area, fill in the void, right, to come down, either go to the order block, then continue the sell. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. This is what I would like to see. We are initially filling a void and a fair value gap at the same time. That's what I would initially like to see. Let me drop down to a 1 hour to see where it would lead us. Okay, initially remember that on a daily where the fair value gap started, right, we can clearly see that there was an order block, right? Let me just refine this one, right? So on the buy side, it would be very nice if price, did its thing. Let me just do this. If price did its thing, where it came to the low, break structure, did a bit of a retest, then continue to fill in the void and to tap into a fair value gap in line with an order block found on a 1 hour chart. This would be a very suitable trade for me to take. This would be a very suitable trade idea for me to take on USDCAD. And in line with USDCAD, we need to also look at the DXY dollar index. We need to look at the index. All right. Start on a daily. I like my analysis on a daily. Let me just find a weekly. Okay. Let me just delete drawings. Alrighty. Just the brief one. Okay. This is my fair value gap on a weekly time frame. That price in future is gonna come tap the zone, right? So initially we see that price came to that order block, right? There's our OB order block, right? Mind you, we're on a weekly chart. We broke structure, right? But let's not also forget that we need to see a change of character before we start buying. So let's drop to the daily. So on a daily, that order block that we saw on a weekly, let's try to refine it. You might be asking yourself, why do I use the bottom wicks? Because on a lower time frame, that's an order block, like let's say on a 4 hour, it's a proper down wick, down candle, Okay, let me try to zoom in and show you guys. Okay, like it wasn't there on a, let's try to see it on a 1 hour, because usually time frames, they go hand in hand, yeah, as you can see here, that on a 1 hour, the 4 hour the daily wick on a 1 hour is actually a last down candlestick. That's something for you just to, on your spare time, do a bit of back testing. So as we were, right, weekly order block, daily order block, right, price pierced below it, then it found proper buying power on the daily order block, right. We go now to a lower time frame, which is a 4 hour. So on a 4 hour, what can we see? Since let me just do this. What will make us be buyers of the market long term is when price violates this area, this buy stops. Once price takes out those buy stops, that's when we're gonna look for buys. But I just want to show you something, that we are not yet buyers until we exit this downward trend. The market is still moving downwards, because here we can clearly see the price, it was a high, right. On a 4 hour, we still had a high, and we can argue to say that after the consolidation, right, we had a breakdown to the downside, which is our proper break of structure this side, right. Our low high, right, forming a lower low, right, forming a lower low, right. Likewise, lower high, forming a lower low, lower high to form a lower low. So what's interesting here, is that initially, somewhere here, we're supposed to be sellers. Because why? This last up candlestick, order block, right? Neferi, like, we got there and we sold, but there's a telltale sign of something developing, something developing where structure wise this might be the start of a change of character. Initially we broke this sell side, we took sell side, sell stop ran, we took the sell stops, right? So initially what can happen is one or two things. Where we are right now, we see an order block, right? We could drop once the market opens and take out these stop losses, or what could happen is price could go up, come back here, trade to the upside, right? Then our first objective will be to take out this order block, right? To go to take out this order block. Then another objection would be to come up to this order block over here, and while we're at it, we see that here we have a beautiful void that needs to be filled. We have a beautiful liquidity void that needs to be filled, and on top of that, we probably have liquidity resting above here on the form of these relative equal highs. So let me just delete these ones. I have a strong conviction that price, if respecting this setup, will buy all the way to the upside. Will buy all the way to the upside. Hey, I want to copy this. Yeah. Price is going to fill that void. I have a strong conviction of that. But if not, the proper outcome, let me just drop to a daily. I mean the 1 hour, I meant to say. Excuse me. I have a strong conviction as well that the market might take out these lows. Sell stops, right? Sell side, sell stops, sell side liquidity. Yeah, I have a strong feeling also that price might come and sell here. But also, it could be that price will just fill this void, this fair value gap, I meant to say. Price will come, do something like this, then fill the void. This will be a good catalyst, just to trade it to the long side. Not ignoring that we have a strong order block where price is right now. But the likely outcome is that this void, one way or another, is gonna fill. One way or another is gonna fill. So yeah, that was my analysis on the dollar index and the USD-CAD. Just a catalyst of the two pairs that are in symmetry. Yeah. So my catalyst is, hopefully, once we break this buy stops, we move to the upside. If not, we can have a point where price is resisting to move to the upside because of these order blocks on a 1 hour. To do what? To sell to the downside, to continue the downtrend, right? To continue the downtrend. if we're still selling, right, this would be a good setup. I don't like a 16 pip stop loss because it's too small. Probably 30 is fine. That's a good risk to reward. 1:5. 1:5. If we're selling, we will see what the market was gonna give us. But for me, my hope and my plan is that price will respect to fill in this void. Then it might, come to the downside. It makes more sense this way. And let's see how long. Let's see. Look at that, 200 and something pips, 244 pips. 1:8. Yeah, let's see, 1:7. Yeah. So this will be our setup. That I will be monitoring on USDCAD, USDCAD. So this is the setup that I want to see. So that will be just my analysis for USDCAD.